Hi, welcome to this episode of Flashback Friday. Today we're actually going to look back at something I've been doing since about October of last year, and that's stock photography. I wanted to show you what it has gotten me money-wise. Spoiler alert, it's not much, but I want to explain why I'm actually happy with it and why I plan on continuing it. I started back in 2018 with videos actually. I never had any luck whatsoever with that. I took every type of video I could with the gear I had and just could never sell anything. So I moved over to photos, and immediately I sold one or two, I think, within a few days. And that was enough for me to drop videos and move over to only doing photos from then on. I started by uploading every picture I had, most of which were taken with a cell phone and were honestly not very good. But I did take some with an actual camera that I have. And after learning enough about editing to get them approved by the photo agencies, I started uploading fairly regularly for the last few months of the year. But then at the beginning of 2019, I started a second job. And I don't think I've uploaded more than maybe a few dozen photos this year. However, this is where it starts to get interesting. In 2018, I made $10.33 from those photos. Since then, the same photos, along with the small amount I've uploaded this year, have made me over $61 this year. So my total so far since I started is about $72. I average just under $10 a month from those same photos, and my best month was $21. Now, some people will look at this and say that it's pretty pitiful income, and I would say that they are correct if I saw it as income. But I don't. I see it as returns on investment, the same way I see returns from any other investment. I put in however many numbers of hours in 3 months, plus a little bit of time this year, and from that initial investment of time, I get around $10 every month. Let's see what that $10 would take if it had come from an investment of money instead of time. You can get a 2% savings account pretty easily these days. To make $10 a month at 2%, you would need to put $6,000 into a savings account. If you wanted to make $10 from a CD instead, as of the time of this video, I see the best 5-year CD at 3.2%. So to make $10 a month, you would need to put $3,750 into a CD, and you'd have to tie that money up for 5 years. Now let's look at the stock market. If we assume a standard historical average return of 8%, you would need to have $1,500 invested in stocks to make that 10% in a month. I realized that this doesn't take into account compounding interest and reinvesting your earnings and all that, but this is just an example. So while I'm not going to try to convince you that I'm raking it in, I am pleased with the return I've gotten from my initial investment of time, especially since it pays out pretty consistently every month. I'm really making an effort to upload more photos consistently to raise that amount. If I could eventually get to where I'm making hundreds per month, that would be a thrill. Plus, I really enjoy the hobby of photography. The fact that I make a few bucks per month is really just a great bonus. I do hope that one day it can be a source of real income, or at least make enough to be self-sustaining, because let's just face it, camera gear isn't cheap. Also, after I polish my skills doing this, I can branch out and start hiring myself out to people directly and make photography money that way. So I do see this as a source of future earnings if I apply myself to it. And one last point, if you have a nice camera, take it with you when you travel. I didn't bother to take it on my trip last year, and I'm still kicking myself for that. I did manage to get some great photos on my cell phone, but no matter how good the cameras are on phones these days, they just don't compare to a real camera with swappable lenses. The first rule of selling photos is to have photos. And the best way to have photos is to have a camera. So thanks for watching today. I will be back Monday. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, especially if you've been doing photography professionally or wanted to start, so that we can all help each other out in the comments. Take care.